What's up guys, in this video I'm going to teach you how to do the yoga mat repair for these washer suspension rods. These suspension rods will go bad because this little piece on top will have a little piece of foam inside, and when it goes bad it no longer grips the rod and it will make the washer shake like crazy. Now if you're looking for a video on how to remove these rods or put them back in, I also have a step-by-step guide on how to do that. You'll see it linked in the corner right here. I'll also put it in the description below. Let's get started. Alright, so a quick test is if this piece is moving easily, it's not gripping the rod, that makes it bad. Quick note before we get started, this could be another problem, and if you replace the rods and it's the other problem, these rods will just go bad again no matter how well you build them. So the problem would be if it has a bad bushing or a bad hub. And to do a quick check for this, you're going to check between the outside drum and the inside drum to see if there's any wiggle in between. And you can see in this washer there's absolutely none. The outside looks like it's completely attached. It has no wiggle from the inside of the drum. Now if your washer does have a little bit of wiggle or a lot of wiggle, have no fear, this used to be a really bad problem that was pretty much an ending game because of how expensive it was to replace it. You'd have to replace the entire drum, which was very pricey. Now you can replace either the hub that's worn out and the hub looks like this, or the bushing that gets worn out and the bushing, the old one looks like this and the new one looks like this. And both of these jobs are not extremely difficult. I don't have a video on them yet, but I'm going to be doing one very soon. And whether you have a bad hub or bushing, more than likely you're going to have to refurbish these suspension rods or replace them. Alright, so we're just going to take a flathead screwdriver. The thinner the better. A big fat screwdriver does not work very well for this. You're just getting in this little spot. Don't poke yourself and just pop this cap up. Alright, now you're just going to pull this piece of foam out, and I'm going to go through this video and edit out a bunch of these parts because it's super hard to do this while you're looking through the lens of a camera. It just made everything take so long. So I hope everyone doesn't mind me making this video a little easier to watch and a little shorter. Alright, so we're just going to cut through this thing to take it off this rod. And be careful while you're cutting it, of course. And now let's take a closer look at what the actual problem with this foam piece is. You see how that hole is a little bit bored out in the middle? It's kind of gritty and falling apart, this piece of foam. That could be from getting old. It could be from the dampening grease, which is kind of like grease if grease were in reverse world. It's extremely sticky. That's why I'm wearing these gloves, by the way. When it wears out or there's not enough, I think it could be creating friction there and making it fall apart. This will be the new piece we're going to put in. I'll show you how to make these in just a second. But as you can see, it's a little bit bigger, and it's bigger for a reason. So here's an actual piece of yoga mat. My wife's going to love that. I tore a little piece off of her yoga mat. I don't use yoga mat, but a lot of people do. They'll use a 3/4 inch yoga mat. But you see how big these holes are in yoga mat compared to this knee pad from Lowe's? These are much smaller, making it denser. I like the more dense one. I think it's going to be a little bit more durable, so that's why I go with this. Some appliance refurbishers prefer this gym floor material. You can also get it in 3/4 of an inch, and it is a little bit more dense. What's really cool is we won't have to do too much guesswork on what's more durable, what's not more durable soon, because Ben from Ben's Appliances and Junk is going to be producing these. And as soon as I can, I'll get my hands on them, I'll do a review. Ben always does his research, and I'm sure he will pick out the most durable version of these foam pieces. So as soon as he starts producing them, I'll link them in the description below. Alright, so this is the piece that's going to cut out, kind of like a cookie cutter, the foam pieces to replace in the rod. And what I basically did was, actually my brother figured this out, he sharpened the inside with just a Dremel tool and the outside a little bit. And if you take a pair of pliers, it's a lot easier. You can just grab a pair of pliers, hold on to the outside, and just turn it a little bit, and it goes through like butter. Check this out. Oh, and the thing I'm using to cut with, this is a coupling for 3/4 inch pipe, and this is called a seamless coupling. It doesn't have a stopping point for the pipe, so you can easily push these out afterwards. And they also make a 6-inch version if you'd rather have a longer handle, but you'd have to push out the piece with another pipe or something. Alright, and as you can see, it's a little bit bigger than the original, which is perfect. That's what we're going for. That way it's going to be better than an original. It's going to squeeze a little bit tighter, hopefully last a little longer. But the only issue is this knee pad is 1 inch and the original piece is 3/4, which is why a lot of people use 3/4 inch yoga mat to make it exactly the same size. I like to have it bigger in all directions, but this is a little too tall. It makes it a little too difficult to get back in the hole, so I cut a little bit off the top, but not even. I just cut a little bit. It's actually going to be about like that. This is one that's after it's cut. Alright, so now we're going to take and make a way for this to be able to get on that rod. So the other one had a hole cut through it, which is another way that it's not going to grip the rod very well. We're going to cut a slit. And we're going to do that by just slicing into the side a little bit more than the halfway point of the circles. Alright, and now we're going to add dampening grease. To start with, into that groove right there, we're going to add a little bit of dampening grease. This stuff is super sticky. It was on the old rod. I started wearing gloves at the beginning. I'll wear them at the end. This stuff gets on everything, and if you've ever gotten silicone on your hands, it's way worse than that. It's like tacky, tacky, tacky. Afterwards, we're going to put this all the way around the outside of this as well, and it's going to make this part last even longer. For a little while when this idea first came out, a lot of people weren't using this, and then they swapped over to using this, and I think it's a very good idea. The engineers at Whirlpool thought it was a decent idea in the beginning. I think the problem was they just didn't use enough. Alright, so right here we're going to put this piece on, slide it down, and don't use a flathead screwdriver to push this in. If you take a flathead, you can cut these edges real easily. Just take something blunt like an Allen wrench and just push it all the way around slowly, being careful not to like rip this thing to pieces because it is bigger than this hole. Speed this up a little bit. This is honestly one of the harder parts of this, is getting this down to the hole and not ripping it to pieces, but much easier with this little blunt tool. And at the very end, you're going to see it's going to barely be sticking up out of the top, and that's because it's a little bit more than 3/4 of an inch, but that is perfectly fine. Alright, so this top part people refer to as the reservoir, and they'll fill this up. I always do too. Fill this up with dampening grease. Dampening grease is inexpensive. Worst case, it will press out around the edges. That's not a problem either. Dampening grease is inexpensive, and if you're going through this much trouble, you might as well make it as good as it can be. Alright, a couple other places like to put the dampening grease is on the rod itself where it normally sits. This is one of the more important spots to put that. This is where it'll be gripping on to the little foam piece. Also, on all these little knuckles, I think it's a good idea to add a little bit to just give it a little extra dampening. Alright, so here it is, moment of truth. And look how well that's dampening. I know it's hard to tell, but even the spring's not pushing it up fast. It's got a lot more grip on the rod. And I've done this several times and it works well every single time. Lots of repair guys are doing this now. I mean, literally Ben is putting out a product for it. So this is better than factory rod. This is the way they should be built. All right, guys. Hope you liked the video. Hope I answered some questions. We'll see you all in the next one.